Well, hello friends. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope everything is going well, that you all are doing well. You're hanging in there, doing the best you can in social isolation. I know that I'm doing my best given the circumstances. Oh, I have lipstick on my teeth. Here in Seattle, we have a stay order in where we can't leave unless it's to get groceries or to go to work or do very specific things. So I'm kind of like, anyway, it's tough just hanging out at home, and I live by myself with my kitty cat, so I know how tough it can be to live in isolation as cars drive by. No kidding. You would think that there wouldn't be so many people around, but I digress, there are. Okay, that's not why you're here. Obviously you're here because you're interested in this palette. So if you're interested in seeing 5 looks with this palette, then stay tuned. It was a little challenging, I'll admit, because it looks like this brown here would have been matte, but it turns out it's more of a satin shade. It has a slight sheen, which is fine, but it's so light that it doesn't really do anything. It does work as a blend out color, but other than that, it doesn't stand out on my skin, so it's really tough to blend out some of the more satiny, metallic, or glittery shades. Another thing to know about this Revolution Pro palette is that the eyeshadows are very powdery. They're very soft, they blend well, but they are powdery, so they do kick up fallout, particularly the glitter shades. If that is something that worries you, then don't wear foundation or concealer before applying your eye makeup. Do your eye makeup first, then apply. I had to touch up my concealer just a few minutes ago because I had a little bit of fallout from the glitter I have on my eyelids. What else is there? I absolutely love this blue shade. As you can see, well, sort of see, it packs a serious punch. So for day 4, actually days I think 1 and 4, I utilize this color more so in day 4, where the look is mostly that color with a little bit of this gold. I am loving this gold. It looks like it would be just kind of a typical gold satiny eyeshadow, but it's more of a glitter. It comes off more as a topper. This one here on the top, it is stunning. I've worn this in the inner tear duct as a highlight. I'm not doing it today because I didn't want any blue in this look, but it's a white with a blue shift. So that's gorgeous. And then there's this, which reminds me of Club from MAC, which is a bestseller eyeshadow. It's a plum base with a teal and kind of, a teal shift. That is pretty, but it's very sheer, so I would recommend wearing a base with that. The other shadows, like this one is a nice satin champagne color, as you can see. It's very pretty. I'm wearing that in the inner tear duct today, so it packs a little punch. And then these browns, there's quite a bit of luminosity there, especially this light one here on my finger. As I said, that one comes off as more of a satin than a matte. And then these other 2 browns. These 2 browns don't really, they look different on my fingers, but when you wear them on your eyes, there's really not a huge difference, except for the darker one is a little bit more metallic than the other. I am wearing the darker, this one, the more shimmery one on my lids today. So I'm like full shimmer today. Even the black looks like it would be a matte black, and it's a good black. There's just a little bit of sheen there. I don't know if my camera's picking it up, but it definitely has quite a bit of sheen. This one is definitely not as soft as the others. It's a little dry, but it works really well. I've been using it as an eyeliner. And last but not least is this lilac color here. The smoky lilac color. I love this shade. I wish there were a few more eyeshadows in here that would pair well with that, kind of like a light blue or silvery shade. Ah, schmuck. I just dug my fingernail into the shade, into the blue. Oh, there's shadow everywhere. Oh my gosh. Okay. It is what it is. I like the palette. I definitely feel like I need to pull in some shadows from other palettes to help create a makeup look that I feel really good about, especially like a matte brown to really pull that off, and more of a medium brown, not like the light one that I just showed you. So before we start into the makeup looks, I just want to let you know that the next one I will be doing is the smoke sections. I swear I haven't had a smoke session. The next color story video will be on the Smoke Sessions palette, which is this beauty here. That will be up sometime next week. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe, click that bell to be notified, and here are the 5 looks. Well, hello there. Welcome to day 1. Woo woo. I'm obviously really excited about day 1 of this Night and Day palette. To start, I'm going to take this light color and dust it into my crease using a really large fluffy brush. The point here is to just simply layer the color, and then I'm taking a smaller, more stiff dome brush and concentrating more of that color into the outer crease and outer V area and softly blending that inward towards the lash line. Next, I'm going to take this medium brown color and that same dome brush, and I'm going to softly layer that brown over the lighter one into that outer V area. I'm starting with very little product and then slowly building up that color concentration as I go. I want to layer it so that it looks soft and glam and smoky, and then I'll use a large fluffy brush to just softly blend that out. Now I'm taking that champagne color, and the finger is always a great tool to apply this kind of shadow with, so I use my finger and then softly blend away any dust with my fluffy brush. And once again, I'm using that smaller dome brush just to blend in a little bit more of that brown, create some separation of color. Now for some liner. I'm using the black and a flat liner brush just to create a slight wing there on the edge of my eye. And then using this blue, using that same liner brush, I'm going to push some of that shadow into the bottom lash line and then marry it to the black that I created before. I'm going to blend that out and just keep adding color as I go just to build up the intensity, intensify the color closest to the lash line. And that's why I'm taking this thinner, smaller, slanted liner brush to do that. As you can see here, it has a really nice smoky look, but it also has that big punch. In some areas that need to be cleaned up, just use your brush just to soften it. And then brush away any fallout. To finish up the eye look, I'm going to apply a couple of layers of mascara. And here's what it looks like when added. You can apply false lashes if you want, but I'm going straight to the face. I'm going to apply some of this soft pink blush to the apples of my cheek and blend backwards. And then to the crease, I'm going to add a little bit of that same pink blush just to marry everything together. And then I'm going to add a little bit of dazzling highlight to the top of those cheekbones just to add some, lovely glimmer glow. And then to finish everything off, I'm applying a clear lip gloss to add some shimmer to the lips, and that is it. And here we have a really soft glam look with a pop of blue color as a twist, and yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoy this. And welcome to day 2. Woohoo! After priming the lids, I'm going to take a flat, fluffy brush and sweep the soft brown all over the lid and blend it up towards the crease. Then I'll take a larger fluffy brush and diffuse those edges. Now I'm going to take a smaller dome brush and darken that outer crease with a darker brown and smoke that out into the crease a bit. And then I'll soften that up again with the big fluffy brush. Basically, I'm layering and blending out colors as I go to create a smoky eye. And then to the lid, using that same flat fluffy brush as before, I'm sweeping on a bit of that duochrome color to the lid. And then of course, the drill, blend it out. Blend, blend, blend. For this, I'm using a dense flat top brush, just so I can really get a soft diffusion of color. And onto this outer V area, I'm using a smaller brush to apply black and layering that and blending it in and layering more color and then blending that in again to add a little more intensity and depth to that outer area, and then cleaning out the fallout. Going back to that medium brown with the liner brush and pushing that into the lower lash line just to complete the look. I figure I'll add a little bit of blue pop to the center of the lid, so I'm adding that iridescent color with my finger. And ta-da! Now for mascara. Here's the finished eye look. Now to finish up the face, I'm going to take a little bit of this bronzer and blush mixed together and apply that to the apples of the cheek and blend towards the temple. And then the highlighter drill. I'm loving this Benefit one. Now for lips. This soft pink glossy stick is beautiful for this look, and that's it. I am so excited about this iridescent look. So I hope you enjoy and stay tuned for day 3. Hi there! Day 3 here, obviously. I am going to start out a little bit differently by using this white pencil on my eyelid, totally rocking it by the way, and blending it out because otherwise it would look a little horrendous. I decided to venture into the smoky lilac-y purple shade today and applied it all over the lid, and then using that same brush, because it's a little fluffy, I decided to use that to kind of side sweep and blend out. Now for black. Using a tapered fluffy brush and just kind of tucking that into that outer corner and outer V area and just rocking it back and forth, slowly adding some additional shadow for intensity and depth, and just, taking my time blending it. Now for the champagne shade, I'm using a really fine detailed brush to apply this into the inner tear duct, and then using it to kind of sweep in towards the lid and the bottom eyelid as well, just to blend it out. Now using a very small liner brush, I'm taking that black eyeshadow again and creating a really fine line. And no look would be complete without a little pop of zing zing, so I'm using that iridescent shadow on the center of my lids to add a little pop of blue. And that's it for the eyes. Now I've applied mascara, and now I'm going to go to the face, applying bronzer and blush to the apples of my cheeks and blending those backwards. And then of course, highlight, because your girl loves a little bit of sparkle to her day. And then to finish off the look, I'm applying this pink lip gloss, kind of add a little zing on the lips, and that's it. I am obsessed with this purple and this iridescent topper. Holla, it's day 4. Yay. Okay. I'm starting with Urban Decay Primer Potion because I need a primer that's going to be a little tacky for this bright shimmering blue color. Now this technique is going to take a while, so grab a comfy seat. I'm taking a flat shading brush and softly sweeping this blue towards the center of the lid from both the inner and outer eyelid areas. I'm taking my time blending this because I want the color to be opaque, but I am going to connect the two together in the crease. This is going to create a semicircle, or what we know to be a halo look. This is the part that probably will take the longest. That's to blend and soften and diffuse those edges. I'm taking my time using the soft blending brush to create a soft blue haze around the halo. And then I'll take a smaller, more dense dome-shaped brush, which I'm using to soften this line even more. Going back to the palette, I'm going to pick up a little bit more of this light brown color and use that to soften and blend out some of that blue. This prevents the blue from looking a little patchy in the crease. And I switch back to the larger fluffy brush to diffuse that a little bit more. And then I'm going back in with that same flat shading brush that I used to apply that blue with, and adding a little bit more blue that had been blended away. And I'm alternating back and forth between adding more color and then blending it so that it doesn't have a harsh line. Now that it's blended to the degree that I like, I'm going to take this soft gold color and create a foil shadow with it. I'm going to apply that to the center of the lid, and then I use my finger to diffuse the edges and blend it into the blue. And then I tap my finger into the blue eyeshadow and use that to blend into the gold so that there is a seamless transition between the two colors. And then I go back in with my brush just to blend away some of those glitter particles and to make sure that there is a soft diffusion in the crease. And what you do on the top of the lid, you also do to the bottom. So I'm taking some of that blue and gold and applying it and pushing that into the bottom lash line. One final thing here is to clean up that inner corner. I'm adding a little bit more blue and softening that up. And then just doing some final cleanup here with blending out any last harsh edge. I decided here to apply some of that iridescent blue topper to that inner tear duct just to really brighten that inner corner up, and I'm really loving how this turned out. Now for cheeks and the rest of the face, I'm adding a coral toned blush and my favorite highlighter at the moment to my cheekbones to really bring some warmer color to my face. And then I'm also taking that highlighter and applying it to my brow bone just to really add a little bit more shimmer because there wasn't enough, obviously. And then to the lips, just adding a lip gloss, and that is it. This is my favorite look out of all of the ones that I've done so far, so I hope you enjoy it too. And congratulations, we made it to day 5. Yay! For this look today, I'm using the darkest shimmering brown shade and applying that all over the lid using a flat but fluffy brush. I'm layering that color on intensely to make sure it packs a punch, and then using a fluffy brush just to soften and diffuse those edges as well. And I'm taking my time to blend this out as well because I want this to be a nice blown out smoky brown look. And sometimes when you blend out a color, you have to go back and apply just a little bit more to re-intensify it, so that's what I'm doing here. And then I switched to a smaller, denser brush to blend out the edge. Now for that champagne color, I'm foiling that champagne eyeshadow and applying it to the inner tear duct. The reason I'm foiling it is because I really want it to pack a punch in that inner corner. Then I'm using a flat shading brush to smooth out that edge and blend it into the brown. You guys should know the routine by now that I love a little bit of glitter and sparkle in the center of the lid, so that's what I'm doing with the gold. Just popping that on for a little dazzle light. And now to the black. I'm using this as a liner to create a slight wing off the edge there. Final cleanup is to blend out any final harsh edges. Try saying that 3 times fast. Into the bottom lash line, I'm just smudging a little bit more of that brown to complete the look, and then I'm going to apply mascara. And there we are, the finished eye look. Now to the face, I'm applying a terracotta colored blush and applying my favorite highlighter, of course. And to the lips, I decided to go a little bit bolder today and applied an orangey red poppy kind of color. I will share the name of that below in the description box if you're interested. And that is that. I hope you enjoyed this look. Alright, so we are finished with today's number 5 look and all the other looks, of course. What do you think? Leave me a comment below letting me know what you think. Do you think I could have done other things, or is there something that you would have liked to have seen used in a different way? Let me know and I can recreate a look for you on Instagram. Next one up will be smoke sessions. In that video, you'll get to vote on the next palette. So anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Please, please, please stay home. Please stay well. Do everything you can. Wash your hands. Do all those great hygienic things to stay safe. And I'll talk to you next time. I love you guys. Stay electric. Bye.